Okay, how would you describe Man with a Plan in terms of sitcom comedy? Because sitcom comedy has been around for like 60 years now.
Mm.
So, how would you describe it in terms of the history of, of
Yes,
that genre?
sitcoms are kind of cyclical. They kind of come into fashion and go out of fashion, and come into fashion and go out. But I think it will always come back to the written word, whether it be a dramatic piece or a comedic piece. You know, it seems like people like to be told stories. Reality shows have really taken off and stuff, but I think, at least for my money, I like to be told a story. You know, I like a crafted piece, and that's what this is. You know, it's a show about a family, and families come in all shapes and sizes these days. You know, and I think that's one of the great things about this world. You know, it's sort of breaking the mold. And this family, I have my character is a contractor, has a construction company with his brother, and my wife is a stay-at-home mom, and we have three little kids, 13, 10, and 6, and now the 6-year-old is in school full time. So my wife wants to go back to work, and I want to support that. So my brother picks up the slack at work, so I can leave early and pick up the kids from school and take them to school in the morning, so I can come in a little later and I can bend my schedule around theirs. And I realized very quickly how difficult it is, how difficult my wife's job has been over the years. And I don't like it and I want out, but I've agreed to do it. So I'm struggling through it, and so I'm like a fish out of water, and she's kind of a fish out of water at her new job. She's been out of the workplace for 13 years, so she's getting reacclimated with all of that. And it's her and I trying to navigate this new dynamic in our relationship and do it right and still be good parents and not forget each other and still love each other, and it's a good, healthy, loving relationship. I think a lot of times you see in television shows they're always fighting, and that's the easy place to go for comedy, and we don't want to have a lot of that. So, you know, we want to kind of be on the same side of arguments as often as possible. Sure, there are times where that's not the case, but as much as possible.
Now you're back. Have sitcoms have changed from the last 20 years to now? You were witness of 20 years ago and now.
No, not really. I mean, there's more. We didn't have cell phones back then, so you didn't see those. We had the cordless phone. You had to pull the antenna out and make a call.
Yes.
I remember those. You see an old episode of Friends, you're like, oh my God, what is that? What am I talking on? What is that? They're not shot on film anymore. Everything's on, you know, all the cameras are digital. But as far as the storytelling process, that's exactly the same.
And what about the humor? Do you think that humor has changed?
No, I don't think so. No, I mean, I always tend to err more to the side of like dealing with themes that are not topical, not political, things that are eternal, like family and trust and friendship and love, things that are always going to be around. I mean, and not that way you don't tend to date the show and date yourself, and it'll have a life in syndication and then, you know, an afterlife, if you will. So I think that's always a smart choice. But I think the things that are funny, people are people. Whether you were, you know, riding a horse to work, or whether you're in a buggy to work, or driving a car to work, or in a spaceship to work, people are always going to want to, you know, we're social beings. We're going to want to be around one another. We're going to need things from each other, and that's something that's really never going to change, I don't think.
Being a specialist in the genre, do you have any input in your character where, for example, says, okay, this joke is not good, we have to change the rhythm, or maybe some words?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a definitely a collaboration, sure, yeah. But we have good writers, and I have faith in them, and 9 times out of 10, what's on the page is great. You know, there's always going to be, nothing's perfect, so we tweak it, but we tweak it together. It's not me coming in and say, oh, change that, I don't like this. I don't work like that. It's, you know, what did you have in mind here? They wrote it a certain way for a reason. You know, they didn't say, let's write a bad joke here. You know, maybe I misinterpret what the intent of the piece was, or the joke, or whatever. So I tried to sort of I tried to make what's on the page work first. And if there's a struggle, we, you know, talk about it. And if it's not working, sometimes it just doesn't work. You know, or sometimes I'm playing it the wrong way, and they say, well, what we had in mind was this. And I'll say, oh, and it's like a light bulb goes off, and I say, that's fine. I can make it work that way. Sorry, I didn't get it. You know, and it's that process in itself is fun.
Do you watch other sitcoms?
Yeah, sometimes here and there. I watch. What do I watch? I don't even know off the top of my head. I don't watch too much TV, believe it or not. I'm outside a lot. Luckily I live in Southern California, so the weather's nice all the time. So I'm outside, out in the woods doing whatever. I'm out riding a motorcycle, driving one of the cars, or out playing around doing something outside, out with the kids, riding bicycles or hiking or, whatever.
What do you think that Friends has become a classic? Not here, at in the whole world.
Yeah. Well, I think what I touched on earlier, it deals with things that are very relatable to people. It deals with issues, and it's also that Friends was about that time in your life after school and before your life really gets started, before you settle down and have kids, get married and have kids. It was that sort of finite 10-ish years period of time where your friends are your family, and I think everybody goes through that. And maybe that's why everyone can relate to it. You're either looking forward to that, or you're in that, or you're fondly remembering that, that period of time. So, maybe that's why. And there's 3 hot chicks on it, maybe. I don't know.
Okay, thank you so much.
That's probably the real reason, isn't it?
We don't know. Okay, thank you so much. Good luck with the new show.
Oh, thanks. Thank you very much.
Thank you.